week.
I used for this issue.
The one about being a pro? Imposter syndrome, remember?
Oh, I did Karina.
We are recording.
You are? On both devices. Channels are up, so I don't have to mute anything?
Nope.
All right. Well, are you starting or I'm starting?
I'm starting.
All right, well, go ahead. Take it over. It's your show.
Welcome back to the Lab channel. So today we're going to talk about one of the topics that are just trending, and it's in the world of social media, from TikTok getting banned, from instant verification, and the mindset of what it's like to be a business owner. And in the room we have Barion McQueen.
Yo.
Got Angel over here. And we got Iris from Iris Eyelash Studio.
That's me.
All right, guys. So, how's your day been?
Our week. How's the week been? Heavy for you?
I did not hit my $5,000 goal this week.
You had five? Oh, yeah. 1,000 a day, right? That's the whole
I've been trying to hit $1,000 a day
We could talk about
consecutively, and I haven't had 1 week where I did it 5 days straight.
So tell us, how have you achieved 1,000 a day?
Having multiple income streams. The goal, I set this target of $1,000 a day, but what I notice is when I put that in the universe, I get closer to it every day. Some days be 500, some days be 700, but I'm like, when I wasn't trying to target 1,000, I would have $100 days, $200 days. So now that's doubled since I've been aiming for this 1,000. So it's like Monday I got 1,000. I was like, woo, well, can we do Tuesday? And then Tuesday I got 2,000. So I was like, oh, I'm going to hit it this week.
Yeah.
And then it just dropped off slowly.
Okay, it's happening.
But I got to have a $5,000 a week though.
So what you're saying is basically just by putting that mindset that I'm going to make 1,000 a day, it's going to come every other
Yeah,
day.
so if I say to myself, I want to make $10 million, I probably will get close to $1 million easily because 10 is the goal, right?
Yeah.
So let me speak that next into existence. I want to make $10 million.
I want to make 20 million.
Yeah, so
Do it loud.
like, what do you think is like the good amount of money to make per month to live in any state in the U.S.?
I think like a good 10K maybe.
A month is
Yeah.
enough?
What do you guys think?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I think it's depend.
On the state, right?
It's depend on what kind of life you have. You know, expensive and all that. But to live in Miami right now is kind of expensive. So let's say you have to make more than 10 a month.
10 a month.
I think it
Like
depends. I agree with you. Like, I think it depends on like how you're living. And this is like a really good conversation for entrepreneurs that are getting started, right? A lot of times you go through how you're going to fund your business. You go through budgeting, and sometimes eating out at every restaurant isn't a smart move when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
Because you gotta save. There's actually a lot of millionaires that have said that they stayed like with a friend or something while they were building their business, or they continued their 9 to 5 and they just kept saving and putting money aside, so that way the wealth of the business kept growing. And then when they were able to like expand or jump ship or anything like that, they had like a safety net to kind of go off of. So I feel like living within your means, you don't always have to go eating out. You could bring your lunch. Like a lot of times, right? We talk about that. Like photographers and videographers are notorious for not eating, like because we're so passionate about what we're doing. And it ends up happening that you like go hours and hours and hours in an event or something like that. And then your stomach starts rumbling or you get cranky and you're like, Maybe I'm a little hangry right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
The reason why I even say 10K, I mainly say it for somebody that's young and single, doesn't have kids, doesn't have a partner. I think 10K you can live off pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it really
It all
depends your
depends. It all
situation.
depends,
But to start off as an entrepreneur making 10K a month, I think it'd be.
I
pretty
seen
cool.
a post on Instagram this week that said $18 to $25 is the new $7.25 and $9
Minimum wage.
minimum wage.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because of inflation. I mean, there's a lot of financial people talking about right now, like putting your money to work instead of leaving it in the bank to trust what your savings account is going to give you a 1%, 2%, or something like that. Like that's not really giving you enough of a return on your money to be able to counteract inflation, right? So a lot of people are talking about like investing in different forms, in different ways, right? You can invest in secure lines that give you 4.5 or 5 so that your money's working. So not leaving any money in the bank and taking all the money that's in your bank and putting it to work.
Yep.
And then there's some people that talk about, no, leave the money in the bank because then that's just going to show your business evaluation. So when you go to ask for a loan, then you're going to get higher loan.
That reminded me, you were talking about the Chase trifecta?
The Chase trifecta, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you Google that or you go into YouTube and you type in Chase trifecta, basically it's just a cheat code. I don't remember the YouTuber right now. I just got into it because my credit, I'll be honest, hasn't been the best through my younger days and being in college and stuff. It's not until I had kids that I really decided to focus on my credit. And not only that, focus on the business credit. So like putting your car under the business credit, I've done that. And like now I'm working on the transitioning of all the expenses going from my personal credit cards over into my business credit. Even though like I'm able to write off the interest and stuff like that if I carry over like an amount of money, but it's not good to do. Like the interest rates are crazy, so you gotta like have like a plan in place for that. But credit cards is really, man, that's the cheat code, bro. That's another cheat code, the U.S. cheat code. People don't teach us that. My parents didn't teach me that growing up. Like credit wasn't a conversation. I'm having conversations with my kids about credit at age 10. Like they're on my credit card. There's
powerful.
one credit card I have them on.
That's real powerful.
So
My rich friend tells me he goes broke one time a year.
interesting.
He takes all his money out the bank. He leaves $5,000. He empties it out, whether it's
That was a good move.
100,000, 200,000. He's like, I want my money out there making little babies.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Yeah.
I don't keep it in the bank. I go broke
That's
once
a
a
smart
year.
move.
Yeah.
But it's
Like
just
right
like
now.
he's like, yo, some are good investments, some are bad investments, but it's not doing nothing sitting in the bank.
That's
So-
smart. Now is the time to put your money in a good strategy and put it to work.
Especially right now, right?
Especially right now.
Like right now,
That's the
everybody's talking about recession, right? We know a couple of friends. Shout out to Tony Delgado, right? Disrupt Media. Like you go disrupt.com. I think that's the website.
Yeah, Disrupt Magazine. is
Disrupt
his.
Magazine is his. He was doing a boot camp. He was talking about the fact recession-proof business strategies, right? What can you do to protect yourself from the recession? What kind of income can you start setting yourself up for? Like passive income is something that's been talked about for forever, right? But how do you then start setting up those little babies out there, right, in your investment portfolio so that they start returning and you wake up to like little notifications of PayPal payments, right?
I seen that this week for the first
love
time in a
this.
while.
It's like all the characteristics of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I put
All
an
the hidden
ebook out
secrets.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
because I put the ebook out. Helped me on my first $1,000.
Talk about that though, because you can't just casually drop that.
What?
That you just put the ebook out and you're getting
Yeah,
blah blah
because
blah.
that's also hot right now. Like
Yes.
creating an ebook, selling an ebook,
Yeah.
how to what
I'm in a way
website.
to do that. I'm, not yet, but I will.
So I have a PR agency called Big Reach PR, and my PR agency helps people get featured in publications, online, podcasts, news, whatever. Everybody can't afford the service. It's like $3 to $5K a month, right?
Okay.
So I tell people, if you can't pay monthly, maybe we can do something where you can pay per article, right? So if you say, hey, I want to be featured in such and such, let's pitch to get you there, and we can pay per article. Some people can't even afford that.
The article, yeah.
So I'm like, look, for $9.99, just download my ebook and see how I did it. This took me 4 years to figure out. You getting the cheat code. Here's $9.99. It's gonna take longer, because it's the free way where you're not gonna have to pay.
Do you think there's a way now you can service ebook for those clients and to make their own ebooks?
That's a whole nother thing.
That could be a whole nother genre.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Because right now, like a lot of the stuff that we're used to seeing, like creating books or creating a lot of media content, as opposed to video content or photos and stuff, there was like a gate that we couldn't get past. Like there was gatekeepers keeping information about how they were able to write so many things or utilize AI or not AI or whatever software they were using. But nowadays, because of the AI that's popped up, we talked about it in one of our first shows, right? Like 2023 is the year of AI. I called it at the beginning of the year. It's going to continue to be that way. It's just going to get even crazier because you were just talking to me about how there's courses now on how to use that AI.
Yes.
Yeah, I follow an Instagram page called Chat GPT Tricks.
Chat GPT Tricks, right?
That's his Instagram.
That's one of the
Instagram. And it's been around for 60 days and it's
Yes.
Goes through the roof.
Boom, boom, boom. You have to like.
What did you see? Did you just saw like a book or something?
I saw
an
ad telling that selling a course, selling the how to use it.
A course.
How much was that course?
You know, I didn't look at it. You have to press, you know,
To
in
get
order
to the
to
price.
get to there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
so this
check
is
it out and
this
stuff.
is the new version of Learn Microsoft Office.
Yes.
Well, it comes down to funnels.
It's the new version of that.
It's because now the conversation is like to the surface. A lot of people that were having this conversation around sales funnels, mailing lists, emailing lists. I'll be honest, I was one of them that didn't believe in them. Like I was like, why am I going to shoot an email when I'm a culprit? Like I'm actually the negative client to these people because I don't check my email ever. There's so much spam everywhere in my email and it's so hard to get past. But I'm going to hold on. I know you're looking at me with this judging eyes, but I'm telling you right now, look, I took the challenge and I said, okay, you know, Barion said, okay, I need to check my email because now I'm getting into like a whole different lane of things. I was mainly in videography and photography and stuff like that. So Instagram was my main form of communication. So email, I had to clean it up somehow. And it wasn't like I had to go and click all the spams out. I downloaded an app that had an AI built into it, and it filters my emails for me. It finds all my newsletters. It finds all the people that are important, and it just says, hey, these are the important people that emailed you today.
These are the hackers.
These are the other crazy people. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. You focus on this.
So what you're saying is AI is really making your life
It's
easier.
making it easier.
So how much money was sitting in your inbox that you lost? I want to know that number.
I don't know. No, that's
Come on, bring it on.
That's a great question. I don't think it was my inbox per se, but I will tell you that I had a conversation today with my dad. My dad has a YouTube channel with 250,000 followers, and there's always people in his inbox
Go
asking
follow him,
to
guys.
be. Yeah, you can check it out. It's Spanish commentary stuff. Is the Detective Angel if you want to see it.
I love it.
But in his inbox, after I called him and I looked through the inbox, there had to be at least 10,000 just sitting in the inbox.
So to all the business owners that don't check your DMs on social media, it could be some money in there. I'm guilty of it.
How much was when because you said it once. You were like, yo,
How many emails do you got?
Oh my God. You don't want to see my phone. You don't want to see it.
Because I would go on there and post, but I never really do much on social media for like my real estate photography company, right? Yeah. So I just went in there one day and it was just a bunch of people. Hey, can you shoot this Saturday? Hey, can you shoot Friday? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even have this on my phone.
I think this just tells you guys may need an assistant sometime.
There's AI for that.
AI for that. I'm about to give you
AI assistant.
I haven't even researched it. I haven't looked at it, but no, there's an AI that will, with artificial intelligence, create a picture of a person. This person is imaginary. It's not a real person. And then assign this person as your assistant. So anyone that communicates with you through email or anything like that,
She do the job.
she will auto-respond with a set of questions or whatever that you have already put in place.
Oh my God.
I haven't really dug into it yet, but like that's the surface level of what they offer.
I've had this AI for 20 years.
What's his name? Her name?
I have a few.
Tell us more.
Put the cheat code because
My
people don't
fir-
know about this cheat code.
All right, so when I was in the music business and I didn't have management and I didn't have PR, I created a fake lady who used to do all my outreach. I used the old white lady with the most whitest name because people just got this weird thing about white
Was it
people.
Karen?
No, it was Danielle.
Oh,
Danielle
okay.
Saminsky.
Oh my God.
That's white, right?
That
So
is white.
Danielle Saminsky got me more shows, more deals, more everything. And I just understood how the game works. People always responded to Danielle. If I wrote an email to somebody, I get left on red. I get Danielle, hey, Miss Saminsky, and they just get. So I
Just
understand.
because the
So
name.
do you guys
right?
think like being the face and the name of the business owner, you get less value than an assistant?
No, it depends
having
on
it-
what
No,
level
that's
of business
depend.
owner you
That's
at.
depend
Alright,
and
alright.
what kind of business.
Because some
yeah.
business people like don't want to deal with the assistant. They're like, nah,
Yeah.
let me get right to the.
They want to get to the source.
Yeah.
They hate that the assistant's the gatekeeper to
Correct.
get to you. So, especially if they met you personally at an event,
Correct.
they're like, "Why do I have to go through this person or whatever?" But at the end of the day, there's
You gotta train people though about the boundaries.
the boundaries. Talk about the boundaries.
You gotta train people about the boundaries.
But what,
I give you a perfect
go
example.
ahead.
Boundaries in like business?
I've met Lil
Watch.
Soso. I don't know how many times. Shout out to Lil Soso.
The business
She's
boundaries.
been on my podcast. We've done so much stuff together. So we started like, yo, we should do some records, right? Who do she direct me to? Mel. Mel's
her
the manager, right?
Mel.
So regardless of what our relationship is, if we gotta do some business, you gotta go to Mel. I respect that. It's a chain of command, right? So
Yeah.
Mel. It's like I'm fine with that though.
Yeah.
But that's the level of professionalism that you have to keep your face clean as the talent or the business owner. You need to create a buffer between you and the client sometimes.
And sometimes I also feel your assistant has to put
Oh,
that
100%.
face really good for you
100%.
too.
Because my clients can't call me no more.
We talk about it a lot. Like sometimes that's why it's hard to hire somebody because you don't know what energy they're gonna value your business. What if they're just working for you?
Like
for
if
money,
you hired
they
an
don't-
assistant today, would your clients be upset that they can't hit you up directly?
probably, 'Cause
See?
but that's also me because
You
I
c-
probably gotten them used to.
Yeah,
having
you
contacting
created
me.
a culture
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think the question is, how do you transition? Because you have people that are accustomed to getting to you all the time. Then you introduce this gatekeeper,
Then they like, well, who is that?
and then they feel like, oh,
I can't just
I'm
hit her up.
downgraded, right?
Yeah.
I'm downgraded to get access to them. I recently went through that. There's a moment growing the studio where I said yes to everything. Everybody called me up, any project, anyone needed help. And I mean, even individual wise, like say someone needed help with something. Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Hit me up. I'll help you out. Answer some questions. Quickly, I saw the quote.
We still suck at that though.
But we're getting better.
Yeah.
But I feel like that quote that is on the internet, that you got to be careful with the love that you show as you're growing, because when you make it to where you're gonna go, you won't be able to show the same amount of love. And like that
true.
quote to me is like becoming more real the more I have to use this gatekeeper approach,
very meaningful.
right?
Today, like this morning, I went to therapy, and I was talking to the therapist, and she was like, "Oh, you should learn really the power of no." And I was like, "Oh, I want to start reading that book. That's like the power of saying no," and it's a reality. Like saying no changes your life sometimes, but then saying yes also changes your life.
I'm always
sometimes.
intrigued by people that go to therapy because I haven't gone. So
Yeah.
what's your experience with?
I was extremely intrigued about it too.
Like, since you've gone, have you seen a change?
This is
in-
like your first time.
This is
too.
my first time ever going to therapy. I think last time I went to therapy, I was like 8, and it
Yeah.
was like me and my brother, like both in therapy.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. We were laughing at the therapist together.
Listen.
So wait, I want to hear her perspective from
Oh,
this too.
Sorry,
Because she
guys,
goes
but
from
by the
other
way,
side.
Iris is my mom and my business partner.
Well, the therapist is something like this.
Yeah,
You just go and talk
yeah.
Straight up.
straight up. That's it.
I feel
Like,
like
if people are going to go into therapy thinking like your life is going to change or
No.
they're going to figure it out for you.
No.
All they're gonna really do is trying to like push you to like becoming aware of what issue you have, which you should. If you're very self-aware, you should know what issue you have. But if you do know that, she would just push you or like give you like a little bit of push of like, you know, that try this for a couple months or 2 months and then see me again and then we'll see if it changes. So she practically, I told her I really want to start practicing like more storytelling and a lot more like how to finish my sentences and like beginning, middle, and end. And basically she told me, well, I need you to write a couple journals and read a lot for 2 months, but not do the same activity. Because if you do the same activity, that's where you get stuck. So it's just either doing different journals, different books. And if I am going to read a book, just like 1 paragraph a day. You know?
Yeah, not putting.
Can I ask you something?
B, what the hell, bro? You feel hold on, man. You gonna say it?
Are you gonna say it or am I gonna say it?
What is happening here? Hold on, go ahead, B. You say it. You say it. I feel like you could say it.
So I just asked you a question.
What?
And you never looked at me the entire time.
I'm sorry.
No, but
I
tell
also
her-
had to give the cam some info.
But tell her the significance.
You know, I was thinking of the same. Like,
Oh my God, guys, I'm sorry.
No.
I have to look over
Hold
there.
on. You're catching. Yeah, right.
Guys,
listen,
Guys, but
listen.
like,
Let me say something.
I felt like
Can I
that
say
question
something?
was very valuable.
Can I say something?
That I had to look straight at the camera.
That's fine.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
good.
Hold on.
It's good.
Because I think B started off with the wrong thing. I think the reason that
Well, we
he's
also-
surprised by that. I think the reason he's
No, but
surprised
you know
by
what?
that. No, espérate. He's surprised by it for a reason.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he's surprised by that because he's never seen you in this kind of mode of like you're looking at the camera. You already broke the fourth wall, right? We talked about it in episode 1. If you haven't seen it, go check out episode 1 where we talk about breaking through the fourth wall. But have you ever seen her talk like this though? Like the
Nah, I mean,
change,
it's-
change from.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I was
3
really
words
confused
from a previous
I was
episode.
confused.
An entire sentence looking straight at the camera.
So I was about to do like this. I guess she was.
Right?
What's happening there?
I want to know about the story.
Wait, so are we on break right now? Or
No,
we staying?
we running.
All right, cool.
No, we had
cool.
to take a break for that for a second. No, because like, that's a huge thing. Have you seen it? Like you're her mom. Like you know how sometimes you see her talk and all that kind of stuff. But this is different.
yeah,
We've
you
seen
see,
her.
it worked.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It worked
It
immediately.
actually works
So
immediately.
yesterday I was on FaceTime with them, and there was like this couple. The guy was taking a picture of the woman. I was like, "You guys want a picture together?" And they were like,
We were so
When the
confused.
heck do you go up to people to take for pictures?"
No.
I'm like, guys, I'm not shy. I was just like, not having
Nah,
it.
you like
We
it's like
feel
a
you.
new person.
Yeah, we feel you, but we're still in shock when we see you do things that are a little bit outside your comfort zone. And let me tell this story. I kind of know you're working on it, so it's cool. Let me tell the story. She's
No,
walking the dog.
I'm really happy to hear this.
Yeah, no,
it only helps me grow more.
You're an animal. So she's walking the dog in an undisclosed location, and she's just sitting there on FaceTime with us because we typically have like a meeting at the end of the day or whatever. We do a FaceTime, and all of a sudden we're talking, and then we see her go, "Hey, how you guys doing? Do you want a picture?" And then me and Baron look at each other in the FaceTime. We're like, "Who is this person? What is she doing?"
monster,
and then she
man.
goes and takes the picture of the person and goes, "Okay, bye." And it comes back onto the FaceTime like, "Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going? Who are you?"
Guys,
What
the
alien
thing is
kidnapped
that
you?
when I hear my closest friends, partners telling me 2023 is not to play, it's not to play. I actually
You
listen
take it
to
seriously.
it and I take
You
it
take it
seriously.
seriously.
When people believe in me and know that I believe in myself, I fucking sorry. Whoops.
Who is this person? Oh my goodness.
Guys, I'm working on cursing.
And let me tell you, she's
But
not
when
drinking.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty,
we-
even started.
And
you know,
she's not
when I'm pretty
drinking.
turned up, sometimes, words come
Yeah,
here.
I want some of
out.
these.
Yeah,
But
what's this?
Just
drink?
seltzer water,
What are
right?
you drinking?
Honestly, guys,
I'm gonna drink
today I've been on
Sober.
a roll.
the seltzer.
I feel good.
Yeah, you've been,
And I feel good for you guys, too.
Interesting.
you've been feeling your vibes.
Interesting.
Había un hielo.
I know. I spilled something.
I
I'm
put
gonna get
ice.
a
There was
napkin in a
ice in
second.
there.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
The purpose of my question
Yes,
is
tell him.
we
Oh,
had
all right, cool,
we
cool.
had
Sorry.
we had Busy Crook on the podcast, right? And he was a big advocate for how therapy helped. It changed his life, his outlook, everything.
It does.
So I always want to know what people's experience is because I feel like people, when they go into therapy, one, they don't know what to expect when they go in there, right? So it's like, at what level of you going to therapy do you actually open up and let your guard down? Because everybody goes in there guarded, like, man, I'm not going, this is a stranger. So how much do I give for them to be able to do their job effectively as the therapist?
The thing is,
Usually that's what I say. You have to be like extremely aware, like that you know your situation, and that you have to be extremely vulnerable to somebody that's gonna know what to tell you.
yeah, but the main thing is that you're going to see a professional person, not a stranger. You see like a stranger, but you have to put in your mind,
That's
I'm
very
talking
true.
with a person that is going to help me, to give me tools to know how to walk better in life.
Right.
And how to,
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Do-
the difference.
Talking shit, go ahead.
Yeah. I like it.
do more, that person take from you, they trying to do the best on you, for you. I messed up. It's not that. So what they do is to ask you question, to suggest how you can answer these, how you can handle this. It just give you tools. How are you?
I think this is an appropriate moment to bring up the fact that right now getting therapy is becoming a little bit more normalized, like more like it's okay.
And
like,
I think it's
when you hear it,
extremely-
like people used to think it was like a negative thing.
Yeah. And I think it's extremely well that it's becoming normal, because I was actually talking to the therapist. The generation that's coming now, like everybody's depression is only getting worse. Because I feel like we all have that like percentage of depression. We just
I
need to,
agree.
Well, I
work on
heard
it.
ADHD and depression go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are having ADHD from that genre that grew
Oh,
up
I got a whole
of people
thing
for
about
that ADHD. Because I know I have it. It's just that I follow certain
So
people.
can I give you some
Please, tell me.
context?
Give me the context as I get prepared for our middle break.
All
As
right.
we're hitting the 20s.
So
Tell
before
them
nine-
about that, please.
no, go ahead. You go
before
first.
1972, ADHD didn't exist.
Before
Yeah, say that
1972.
again.
72. Okay.
ADHD did not exist.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
It was just called ADD.
Attention deficit disorder.
Correct.
Hyper got added. Why?
Because the normal behavior of what
Really got them
ADD
brains in the
was
house.
normal behavior for people.
Like
So-
that was normal type of stuff.
Right. So if you look at a kid that's diagnosed with ADD and you look at his symptoms, can't sit still for long periods of time.
Kids normally do
This
that.
is normal behavior.
Yeah,
so they added the word hyper because you can treat hyper.
But you can't treat normal. Like, right? That's the thing. You can't treat
So
normal.
they added hyper because, now we could put them on Ritalin. Now we could put them on Concerta.
medicines
It's
and
all
stuff. Yeah,
pharmacy
yeah.
related.
No,
Yeah.
but that's great that you bring that up because I was really afraid of having to go like on medicine or anything.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people that are on Ritalin and all that, and they abuse it. Like they use it like a superpower kind of thing, like what people use Red Bull for, right?
Yeah.
Gives you wings or whatever. But I started following an account. I forgot his name, but on Instagram I ran across an account where he recommends like just behavioral things to do. So like say for example you have ADHD and maybe you forget or procrastinating about cleaning your room or something like that. Tell a friend earlier in the week to call you and to tell you that they're coming over, right? Even though they're not coming over. You're going to forget because you forget. They call you, they tell you, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in like so-and-so minutes. You freak out and you start cleaning your
So
place.
you're motivated.
You clean the place. You call them, when are you coming? I'm not coming. You told me to call you to tell you that I was coming so that you could clean the place. So there's a lot of strategies that you could use to help yourself,
So I follow this guy named Dr. Umar Johnson. He was a school psychologist. And what he said was, him as a school psychologist, there's no test that they can test you for ADD. That's just a professional's opinion. The opinion can be wrong.
From your behavior.
Interesting.
So the ADD and ADHD thing was crazy to me because I looked at what they used to do for schools, right? So if you were like, you had a learning disability, you should really only be in a class for the learning disability that you had. But if they labeled you as being somebody that they just put you
Every
in
class.
they just put you in the slow class.
Damn.
Even if you just really needed it for math, but your reading and everything else was good.
Fine, yeah.
It's money in special education.
Well, now they still do that. Even like if, for example, me, I've always, like when the first testing first started, you know how like in reading, you have to like put a point to see if you're gonna get like intensive reading in high school.
Okay.
So I was like 2 off points in my reading test, and I had to have intensive reading all 4 years of high
See what I'm
school
saying?
for 2 points.
We could go down a nice little long rabbit hole
Yeah,
for
I
education.
love how this went from
No, because
No,
it's,
but-
from
That's
this
another-
business
it's
mindset
money.
to
It's money in special education, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the more
It's
people
about
they
money.
put in there, even if they don't need it. Like my wife, just because her last name was Martinez, they put her
Esau.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, Esau.
She's
Right
like,
away.
but I
Yeah.
could speak English. Not Martinez. Put her in there.
My
Yeah.
kids are the same way. My kids were the same way. My wife goes like, there was a form she filled out, and they were like, "Oh, are your parents Hispanic? Is Spanish spoken in the home?" And then all of a sudden, it was like, "Oh, Esau."
Yeah,
like,
if you
bro,
say-
these kids
yeah.
talk English from day one.
Yeah.
Spanish is being spoken in the home because they need to learn Spanish.
That's so unfair.
That's basically what it is.
That's so unfair.
Right?
And then it's like you want them to be, you want to be honest with them that there is Spanish in the house, but it doesn't mean that's their main language.
Yeah, after that, I ended up telling my wife, stop answering that. But then I looked at it from a different point of view, and I was like, well, I guess if they're going to be an Esau, they get to learn Spanish. And that ended up being the case. Like, they know Spanish now. Like, they literally know.
I'm so nervous to have a child and bring them up in any school system
It's crazy, man.
Guys, I made an article on homeschooling.
because I seen that because the shots, all of that stuff that they do is what I learned was they be like, oh, your kid can't come to school until they get these shots, but that's not a law.
Yeah.
It's a school policy, and most parents don't know the policies, so they just go with it. And
Just
they
go
say,
with the flow.
Oh, the guy
Yeah.
said my kid is ADHD. Let's put him
Yeah.
on medicine.
They don't let me. They thought that they don't let me my kid to go into school if they don't have.
If
a
they don't
I
have
use-
that.
Homeschooling needs to be talked about more often, man.
Yeah, no, I think right now there's a revolution around there because of
It's going to
pandemic
change.
and all that stuff. But
It's going to change.
there's a lot of people doing it. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that are enrolling their kids in homeschooling
Yeah.
or hiring a tutor or going to a special type of school
Yeah.
that, teaches them in different ways. Like kids are being taught now through games. Like they get to go into a web room online virtually trying to solve a puzzle of a game with other team members. The teacher's not present.
No.
They get to see kind of like how they're interacting, but the idea is that they're in that environment to work together. And then when the session's over, the teacher gets to come back and debrief and say, how did it go for you guys? Like, what was the thing that caused you to solve
interesting.
it? Yeah, dude, there's so much out
So
there.
we can say it on camera. School's a joke.
School is a joke. I'll say it right now. I've been the first to say it. I've said it for freaking forever.
Yeah, well, speaking
But
about
the
that
sad
today, I
thing
was
is that the poor kids doesn't gonna have a good education.
That may change, though. There's a lot of stuff happening right now for access for sport kids.
We are
Yeah.
we're made. Our brain is made. You have to write and read, like with the pen and not everything in computer in.
Yeah.
Do you know cursive? Like how to
yeah,
write cursive freehand?
They taught me cursive.
You
in
know how to do that,
second.
right?
Yeah.
So do I.
You know how to do that,
Yeah.
right? Well, nowadays they're not doing that no
In
more.
third grade, they don't teach you that.
No, they
anymore?
teach you how to do your signature, and that's all
That's
the
it.
cursive you learn.
But the thing is,
My
it's
mom
up to
taught
the
me how to
parent.
do my
That's
signature.
right there. It's up to the parent
Yeah.
to encourage it. So my daughter, I encourage her to write me a story. Like every week or so, I'll be like, write me a story. She likes scary stories, so she comes up with scary stories
In cursive?
in cursive. And she writes it full in cursive and everything. Because like, bro, like that is something that's very important and it's fundamental. Our Constitution is written in cursive. Like if you start training generations of people not to read cursive or write cursive, we're screwed. We're not going to know where our
Yeah.
foundations came from.
That's why China and India be laughing
At us.
at us.
It's
Yeah.
horrible, bro.
Bro, I will never forget. I was the spelling bee champion.
For real?
From the kindergarten
Bringing up the spelling.
Guys, let's
fifth
have a
grade.
spelling bee right now.
Yes.
from
Come on, a
kindergarten
5-minute spelling bee.
to fifth grade.
Let's
I was
do
the, you know who beat me?
Who?
Aditi Hindi. I will never forget
You'll
this
never
girl.
forget the name.
This girl from India. She was just sharp, bro. Like
Aditi Hindi.
Aditi Hindi. If you out there, Aditi, watching somewhere, I know you doing great things right now in life. But they just different, man. I was always up against an Indian girl or Indian guy and an Asian guy or an Asian girl. So I was like representing America, and
they
it was
were
like,
representing their country.
they're just they train different, bro.
No, it's different.
My friends that's Indians, they like Barion. I already know what I'm gonna be before I get there. Like your parents tell you what you're gonna be. We already have a pharmacist in the family. You're gonna be this.
Nice.
You no, you're not going for a logo design.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, you're going for
YouTuber.
This.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
you're going for this. That's just how they structured.
That's nuts, man.
All right, let's pour that up, man.
Our producer and engineer today is giving me the green light to go ahead and do our intermission, our middle intermission. Am I good? I can go?
You're all good.
Awesome. So we don't have an official sponsor today. This is not an official sponsor. Obviously, we haven't had official sponsors, but this was not in that like sense that this was given to the studio. This was actually a present from Edie's Eyelash Studio for all the hard work that we do in collaboration. Yeah, this is all Edie's Eyelash Studios collaboration here.
The Dalmore.
It is the Dalmore 12 years Highland single malt Scotch whiskey.
Yeah, that's
Scotchy, Scotch. Nice.
That's good.
I love me some whiskey. There's not too much history behind this. There's not like a little bio or something that sometimes they're on these bottles, but I love the decoration of it.
I love the
You guys can
decoration
see.
too.
It's fire. So we're gonna pour this out, and then we'll get ready to go into our next section of the lab.
I was never a Scotch drinker. Till
Never?
I started hanging around rich friends. All my rich friends,
Lawyers. When I was a paralegal,
bro, they don't play like
Johnny Walker was my introduction to it.
the Macallan.
McAllen's.
But this Macallan that he had me
Louis
drink was like a $600 bottle, right? But what I didn't understand as somebody that used to just drink a lot, when the quality of the alcohol is good,
This is very good.
you don't
quality.
get that
single malt.
You don't get that headache in the
Cake,
next
yes.
day. You don't get.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I'll
drink quality.
I'll second that. When I started hanging around with lawyers as a paralegal, I've been a baker,
Whoa.
tailor, candlestick maker.
I just want to try it.
But when I started hanging with lawyers, they drank like good whiskey, and I was like, "Oh man, you guys
Pour it
are
up.
gonna get hungover by the next day." You said you just want to try it,
Yeah.
and like we would go down a bunch of bottles after and go to court the next day, and it was like, "Y'all ain't gonna have no hangover. Don't worry, this is good whiskey. You'll be
Good
fine."
stuff.
You know, good stuff. So, shout out to Edie's Eyelash Studio for helping us out into our nice little liquor collection. We're gonna have to keep a locker at some point. Right, with all this
Because they walk out with bottles here.
Different donations.
I've seen a guy walk out with a Jamaican rum.
with the
Cheers.
Jamaican rum bottle.
Cheers.
Cheers to life and friends and all the good stuff
to
that
the
we
lab.
have. And the lab,
And
right?
the lab.
Where we get to experiment and talk. It's fun times.
I got some people excited to be on the lab on Friday.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh, it's
I
smooth.
wonder what their sponsor gonna be though.
Oh, for the liquor that you told them to bring?
Yeah,
We're not gonna shout them out yet, right? Because we don't.
I
We're
don't even know.
surprised. We don't even know.
next
Awesome.
week. That's next week.
Next week. So
Oh, talking about podcasts, guys, I want to do this analysis because I have the the collabs calendar, and it's just like this week we've done 5 podcasts.
I think so. Yeah. We've been out 5.
I think a bit more. Well, we're not done.
Oh,
it's
you
still
mean
Friday. Tomorrow we have.
You mean in the amount of sessions that we've had at the studio?
Yeah, like
Right,
weekly.
so all the clients have come in throughout the week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like people don't realize how many come in. It's just we space them out so nicely that they don't really interact with each other. But there's a lot that come through, and sometimes we do a couple a day. So
I have a question. What is for you guys? I'm the first time right here, so thank you for letting me here
Ask
and,
away.
and live this experience.
Hug this mic. Love this mic.
Okay.
I love it.
We want the best sound for you when you're giving us this game.
But I have a question. What is the most important thing for you guys to do the podcast?
That's a good question. I'm really passionate about podcasting, so I'm gonna leave my comment for last because I can talk.
You want to go ahead, Baron?
I think for me, like, no disrespect to Everyday Game Changers because I love the people that come on my show, but this
Everyday
gives,
Game Changers is Barion's own podcast.
Yeah, but this vibe gives me like family at the kitchen table vibes. Is what
Okay,
So
yeah.
I've been podcasting all my life because my family, we just used to do this on
Yeah.
Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays.
Yeah.
It's liquor.
Just without recording.
Just without recording, right?
Yeah.
We sit, we talk shit, it's liquor. Eventually somebody orders pizza and wings and it's a night. Cards is playing, you know.
And everyone talking
Guys, I
about
actually want to start bringing on
history.
Uno and like
Right.
something.
So
That'd be
that's
cool.
what this feels like for me, like family. So
Yeah.
that's why I enjoy it more actually than sometimes than everyday game changer.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
Because actually that's why we all have that at home. And like myself, doing this for the
Yeah.
first time, is, I get to realize how can I be more comfortable doing it. Because in the beginning, I was like, for me, like in my head, in my mind, like podcast, wow,
It's overwhelming.
I need a plan. I
like,
need a script.
I have to
need
know
something.
what to talk.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And actually, it's what you're saying.
Yeah. Just talking shit at the table, right?
Yes,
That's it.
just that.
So for me,
Your story, my story, and share.
yeah, that's all.
That's
it
the
is.
first question she asked. A lot of people ask that when we have clients and their guests come on. It's like, hey, what are we going to talk about? And I think the best podcast we've seen has been when the guest doesn't know what they're going to talk about, and it's just like an organic conversation, right?
Yeah,
And
and
like-
just letting them like be the value.
Letting them add the value
Yeah.
through that conversation, right?
100%.
Like if you watch our last show, we talked about batch content and how to make a lot of content, right? And to think outside instead of I need to go create this content, it's more like I need to document this content. So you're already doing a ton of stuff, right? So what's to say that you wouldn't go like, all right,
Oh gosh, here you go.
hey, you guys remember my GoPro from last time? GoPro. So we put her out.
You
and we
using
just
it
said,
today.
Bam, and that's it. And then it's just gonna be there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do
We
what I
didn't
want.
give it a name. Can you give it a name?
We did actually in one of our we had a reality TV show that the studio sponsored, and I think it was called Goey.
Goey.
These are, I mind you, this is a reality TV show with like 15, 17-year-olds, so
Okay.
they named it Goey.
Got it.
Got it.
Because from the
Makes sense.
Got it.
Goey.
Okay, so that's
Guys,
that's
so
That's a good idea for
That's
you to
a good
do.
idea,
Just
yeah.
put a camera and then do you, and you'll be fine.
we got
You'll
the
get it.
business mindset. We got the business characteristics. Now let's jump to blue checks.
Oh, thank God. I was saving this. Bro, where am I? Put my camera. Where you at? Yo, so Baron, I know you're going to want to go last for this one.
Look at his face.
Hold up, guys. You guys need to see Baron's face.
Yeah. So, Baron.
By the way, he's blue check over here. Blue check since when?
The first time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
August 2022.
2022.
And then I lost it.
2022.
No, but before you do that.
Oh no, I got it before. I got it August 2021.
Correct.
I lost it August
2022.
2022. I got it back in January.
A
How
year
come
after.
is that? That you get it and
So
you
that's
lost
a great question. But for him,
Still waiting for the answer.
for him, he took 5. I'll let you tell your story, but I know you took 5 years to build it, and then you got it. But now this is out, right? So as we're in the show, I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh, we're gonna talk about this, so I might as well like tap around my phone or whatever and see what it's doing to mine, right? So I go to my account and I go to someone, I hit the blue check. It shows me Meta Verified, right? And then it says, manage your subscriptions to Meta Verified on Facebook and Instagram. And then underneath it says not subscribed and shows me the accounts that I have listed, right? Well, guess what? Collab Studios Miami is Meta Verified available, right? So I'm able to go ahead and subscribe and I'll get the little blue check on the studio. The studio has about 750 followers. It's been a year that we've been active, so that's pretty good. My Famous Angel account that has well over 12,000 followers is Meta Verified not available.
How come?
How should I know? And then my Facebook,
Do you have a Facebook business page linked to Famous Angels Instagram?
yeah. Yes, I thought it was that too. So then I'm like looking underneath it, it says Meta Verified not available for the Facebook page. So like, what are their rules? What are they trying to
There's
do? I don't
a lot
understand.
of question with no answer. That's what I think.
I think this is a money play. right?
Money play.
Yeah.
When Twitter launched verifications where you can buy and verify your Twitter, they only had, out of the how many users, 2 billion users on Twitter, they only had 200,000 people sign up out of 2 billion, right?
When Twitter launched their service.
When Twitter launched,
But it
200,000.
didn't make them positive, net positive.
Yeah, that's $2 million a month
Money
extra
play.
that they
That's
did
money.
after they laid off 7,000, right?
That's money. In
So I feel like Instagram was like, well, let us get a little bit of that real quick.
there. Yeah.
We got
They
even
working
more
on that.
users
They
than
working
Twitter.
on that. Yes.
Let us do it, because let's be clear. Instagram is the most hardest check out of all of the checks that I have to get. Instagram was by far
Yeah,
the
tell
hardest.
us about those 5 years of that hard work trying to get that blue check.
Don't put
please.
too much sauce out there because he has an ebook. Shout out to Barion McQueen's
Well, you know,
ebook.
I'm not going to give them everything in the
But
ebook
you know.
because it's a 2.0 coming, right?
Yeah, the
So-
ebook's amazing.
Right,
you guys should
right.
check it. If you're interested, go check it out.
But
I'm gonna buy your ebook.
yeah, but for me, it was just like I wrote down a list of the top 10 people that was in the space that I wanted to be in.
Okay.
So I wanted to be in this entrepreneurship space. So I looked at who was the top people doing what I wanted to do, right? I wrote them all down. Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Dan Locke, Ed Milet. It was a whole list of a whole bunch of entrepreneurs in that space. And I just followed them. I wrote down all of their websites and I looked at what they did. They all wrote books at one point in time. They was all authors, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I write a book, right? And I'm like, they all had like a course that they were selling. All right, so I need a course that once I get an audience, I got something to give to the audience, right?
Yeah.
And then I noticed that they were contributing writers to other people's sites, right? So if you go on like a Disrupt website, Grant Cardone is a contributing writer, and you go to all of these sites, Forbes, they're contributing writers. So I was like, okay, I need to get my contributions up. So I start reaching out to people. Hey, can I write for your site? What do I got to do? I start getting these contributing writers. So I was reverse engineering everything they did. So I'm like, all right, now I got everything that they got. What's stopping me now, right? But this was 4 years of work to
Yeah.
just tell people, hey, I'm Barion. I do really great stuff. I think I'm at the level of these guys. Is give me a shot. And
Oh, and you even took the time to do the research of
Oh.
how to
Yeah,
even-
you managed
how to
that.
get
Oh.
to that
You-
verification.
Oh.
Nowadays, you just have to pay for it.
yeah, that's $30,000.
Yes.
That's the fast pass. You pay $30,000.
Yes.
You bring a PR agency, and they can fast track you.
Yeah, but
To
what I'm saying
verification.
now, today, it's
And now you can
membership.
get it for $11.
Yeah.
So imagine all the people who paid
Insane.
$30K.
I'll buy it.
They steamed right,
Right
now.
now.
No, but look, this is so. As you guys are talking, I'm tapping a little bit deeper into it, and I tried to go ahead and verify the studio.
Okay.
I didn't hit the subscribe button, but it does show me the benefits of subscribing, which you get enhanced verification, proactive protection, direct support, so you could contact someone directly, and then you get like exclusive extras or whatever, stickers and stuff like that. But then at the bottom of it, it says Meta Verified is not available for businesses or people younger than 18 years old. And then you could tap a link and it'll show you what other requirements there are.
So it's not.
No, but check it. So for the studio,
It's kind
I
of like what
switched
Barion
it.
says.
No, but I switched
It
it.
might be beneficial for businesses.
It will. It should be, but it's not. It's not being targeted for businesses. It just says it right there,
Yeah.
right? But the reason the studio has this now approval to sign up is because I set the studio to be not a business and to be
Creator
like an
account?
entrepreneur or a creator account.
Interesting.
Because I needed the
You know
access to
what?
use the
There's
music.
a game over there.
So the problem is going to be when you try to submit ID, your ID will have to say Collab Studios.
It's like what the
So
hell?
it's not for business purposes.
No.
It's not
It's
for
just a
Because I
money.
got it for Frame by Da Vinci, and they said, Barion, please provide us your ID that says
Frame by Da Vinci.
I'm like, well, that's not my ID.
So you need to have your full name. It needs to be 2-step verification.
So how does this change for the people that built a brand, but their Instagram name is babygirl619? Well,
you can't do it.
you
Sorry.
can't do it, right?
It's not available for you yet. You're gonna have to figure that out later.
So
That's
this comes back
intense.
to my point about the power of personal branding with your real name.
That
And
does.
also, you like having the blue check. What are the benefits?
When I didn't have my blue check, I was losing $10,000 a month.
Okay.
in sponsorship. So today I just got an email, shout out to Glocally. They hit me up, hey Barion, we need you to just do a video. Well, that video took me 7 seconds, but they paid me $550.
For you having the blue check?
Yeah, that's how they found me.
Wow.
Right? So that was my thing when she first reached out. But I've done like 5 campaigns for this company.
That's interesting because now, do you think that company even knows about this new verification?
I'm sure.
And they're still paying people?
Yeah, because well, they're using like to give them
So
like
the benefit is like, my thing is like, if you've been doing business with people before all of this stuff happened, you should hopefully have those relationships maintained. That they like, oh, like I've been working with this company since last year.
Oh, they know your audience.
Yeah,
is
you
good.
build the relationship.
Yeah.
but they also use a system.
They have a system.
It's not just like, oh, let me look at his account.
Like I asked
There's
her,
platforms
how'd
for
you
this.
find me? And she's like, it's really cool. That was her answer. I'm like,
No,
well,
it's super cool. I know a little bit about it because my friend works for the marketing department at the OnePlus. So the OnePlus devices. And when they go to do influencers, there's different tiers of influencers. There's influencers that have 1,000 subs, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, the millions and stuff like that. And budgets go out to each level.
Yeah.
But there's a back end. There's like a website that they sign up for, and that website gives a score.
socialblade.com.
Yeah. Well, Social Blade is one of them, but there's even a more expensive. It's like
I'm
$400 or
sure.
$500 a month or something.
The real,
And you
what
get
Social
like
Blade copy.
yeah, you get demos. Like you
Yeah.
could actually see the insights of the person
Yeah.
inside of their account, which is crazy. And then I think they give you a score, and that's how they find you or whatever. So,
Yeah, it's based off followers. It's like, it's math.
an engagement
For this
type
amount of
score.
followers.
What I saw,
What I'm thinking is also like,
I saw like singers.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah.
Like you see singers have the blue check.
Yes.
Okay.
And they don't really have the real
engagement.
followers.
All right. So you're gonna want to go to episode 1 of the lab, but let's give you a little summary of that. If
Yeah.
you want to check out that episode, go right there.
You
But
should send her the
listen,
article.
We can send her the article as well, but tell her a little bit about why that is so easy.
So
Can
there-
we tell them where we find our articles?
Yeah. I think we did that in the last episode, but we could bring it back up now.
So what was happening with verification? There was a bigger business going on behind verification
At that time.
For getting
at
blue
that
check.
time.
at
For
that
getting
time.
Not
blue
now.
check. Not
That-
now.
Now things have changed.
So what
Last
happened?
6 months.
So what happened was regular people were posing as musicians because if you have Spotify or you have music in the system of distributors, Apple Music, and people were submitting music that was just silent.
There was no
What?
music. It was just a
So the top guy that they
silent track.
used for this article was a doctor. He was a doctor, but he was
confused.
posing as he was a DJ so he can get verified because it was easier to get verified as a musician than an entrepreneur.
Did your brain just blow up right there for a
Yeah,
second?
100%.
So if they could go and say, "Oh, he's on Spotify," and they'll just
That
run
makes
up the
sense.
numbers on Spotify,
No, that doesn't.
and
make
then
sense.
when you submit
No,
music,
it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense
you
what
s-
I saw.
yeah, when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
submit
yeah, yeah.
What
music,
happened?
Google automatically creates a knowledge panel for you.
Shout out to the knowledge panel. A lot of people don't know about that.
So Google's knowledge panel is like the step before Wikipedia, right? So if you
Knowledge
did
panel.
music, Google automatically creates you a knowledge panel. Like I didn't get my knowledge panel until I put a book out. But if you do music, you'll see your YouTube, your Spotify, your Apple Music, your
How do you get, like, for example, you type in your name and it shows, like, what do you do, who you are?
that's the knowledge panel.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
So-
right?
That's
exactly
okay,
it, yeah.
okay.
Most people have to earn that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay,
But if
okay.
you put a fake song out, Google will automatically create that for you.
Oh.
So people were going and trying to go the music route because it was tricking Instagram's system. So they would be like, this guy is a pediatrician, but on the weekends he DJs. And he submitted his thing for verification. And they're like, oh, this is music DJ Dr. Booty Smacker, right?
There you go.
I'm going to have to
Boom.
start doing that.
And then they would get verified, and then he would just put his title back to doctor. Now he's verified, and now to the public, he looks like a doctor
Like a famous doctor.
that's
Right.
famous.
And he made it by being a singer.
He made it by DJing.
But this blue check stuff has to stop, man. Like
I
I think it's gonna go crazy. Like just get rid of the whole thing. It wasn't
I don't
even.
see the point because you don't get any benefits, or you do.
You get a lot, yeah.
If done correctly.
You get a lot if you're done correctly. So,
But
Yeah.
I'm saying benefits now paying for it.
no, dude, like even
Subscription
No,
thing.
now you have to pay.
even with subscriptions, I think that there's gonna be an evolution to what Barion experienced when he first got the blue check. So he first got a blue check and then got invited to a bunch of select group of
Everything.
people
Soon as I got the
that
blue
were
check,
blue check.
Yes.
They
I
were-
get Diddy's party.
Everybody
Alright.
groups.
I'm
Anything
gonna
that's
pay for that.
important.
Oh, okay. I got
We don't know if
I
that's
got
what's
it.
going to happen, though.
Oh, I got it.
That's the thing. We don't know if the same thing is going to happen now.
I think
inadvertently, maybe by mistake, right? Because now you pay for your check. Maybe all of a sudden you get invited to these groups because maybe they were using some sort of system to do it, right? As opposed to someone manually going and finding all the blue checks. Probably a system was saying, any blue checks that are signed up within this amount, go and add them to this group or whatever. We don't know. So the thing is now we don't know if people that are paying are now going to get access to this like secret club of things, right? And then now they're going to get invited to a bunch of places that we don't know, right? We don't know what the
But I think it's going to be
ramifications
more now. It's going to be the marketing company's job now to really vet.
Their job just got a lot harder.
Oh yeah, who's now? It's like okay, you got the blue check, but
The one with
do
the
you hit all
subscription,
of these other checklists we looking for, right? But see,
which is before 2023.
so this might be the caveat, right? If you got verified after March 2023, you pay for it.
That's just
But
gonna be
on
the
my
given there.
case, I'm not in music. I'm not on design. You know, I'm in beauty industry. What is the benefit for me to get blue check?
It would be for your self brand, your own brand. So instead of
Just
of
so
your
people
business,
look out that I have the blue thing. That's it.
that's really
That's
at
it?
this point what we don't know because
check-
they haven't
I'ma
given
give
the
you an
access to
example.
everybody. But
Angel's Eyelash Studio. Your eyelash studio. If I'm somebody deciding on which one I'm gonna pick, and you verified and he's not,
You're going to the one of Earth.
because you must be the best.
because that's the definition that we gave it.
It
But
don't.
that's not-
It don't mean that
it
you're the
doesn't-
best.
I get the Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
And I don't even have 10K. Like, I don't have
Let me ask you
many
this.
followers.
Do you think Chick-fil-A got the best food?
No,
Why?
because it's,
Plenty other places better.
yeah, of course.
But if you think about the best chicken place that you know, and you ask another person, have they heard of your chicken spot or have they heard of Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
They're gonna say Chick-fil-A.
And it's all about
It's
that.
about the brand.
It's just about the brand and identity. So like the original blue check was really meant to just identify you versus any other imposters.
Right.
You don't understand how many times I go to follow a blue check account and within 30 minutes I have a bunch of fake accounts following me,
Yeah.
trying to trick me into following them,
Wow.
which will then send me a message and say, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yo, there's no way a blue check person is going to just take the time of their day to say, "Hey, what's up?" to me after I just followed them."
Yeah.
Right?
Well, actually, no. You know what? I saw this TikTok. We're gonna jump into TikTok after this, but I saw this TikTok of this guy that he's like, what got me to sales is every person that followed me right away. I told them, "Thank you for following me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about sales?"
Mm-hmm.
And then that got them sales. Like being because like in this digital world, you kind of have to introduce yourself. Baron tells us a lot. You have to be active. You have to like people's posts.
Yeah.
You need to comment on other things if you want to be known in the digital world. So it honestly depends if people have robots or actually people saying, "Hey, thank you."
I think
for
there's
following
definitely
me.
a very clear fine line between that because I got tricked into the Cody loop. So I subscribed to Cody, but she didn't have a blue check. So then
Another Cody.
another Cody
I had an extra eye.
had a little
in it
extra
or,
eye in it.
Yeah.
Followed me. And then I messaged you right away. And I was like, "Yo, Cody started following me." And he's like, "Yo, tap the name and see like who it is." So I tapped it and I found out it wasn't Cody. But that's the thing, like
That was the purpose of Instagram. So that you're
Yeah.
not
So
impersonating
you don't impersonate.
somebody of influence that you can trick the public.
Mm-hmm.
It's always supposed to be in the public's best interest.
By the
with
way, guys,
these platforms.
we really want to get Cody in the studio. So
Oh man, it's gonna happen. We're gonna have to go to Cody though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to travel.
Pack it up and let's go.
Let's pack the whole studio up. We got it.
well, I'm leaving I'm gonna be near her.
For all we know, I don't know where Cody is. I'm gonna ask her.
She's in Austin.
I need
She's
to know
in
more
Austin.
about the Cody.
Yeah. Cody Sanchez. Yes, Cody Sanchez is a really good branding business entrepreneur, investor. It's a long history, but she's always dropping really good information about her process and what she's going through.
It's the girl that you show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anybody I meet,
Yeah.
I gotta share Cody with them.
Yeah, I saw
How can
Cody
we
because
not?
of you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember now.
I saw Cody
I'm
because of
not
you.
impressed by a lot of people, but Cody is the GOAT.
Speaking of things that you're not impressed by, you definitely started a magazine
Oh, yes.
not too long ago. And it was almost like a joke, like the first time that it got here, that it was like this size.
I'm impressed.
Right? This is not like the normal size of a magazine, y'all. But this is the first time Da Vinci Magazine came to the studio, and it was this size. And we would joke, we'd be like, oh, this looks like a zine. This is so cute. It's all fun and games and all that good stuff. But Barion was not feeling it. If you switch to his camera, you can see how he really feels about it.
I wanted to put out a magazine sized, and that's what I got, a pamphlet.
Little pamphlet size.
This picture though,
I love
this
this.
girl's giving like that. I don't need no man energy.
Right?
Shout out to Malika, man. She's one of the top men's.
That's depend
Yeah.
how you look at it.
She's one of the top menswear designers in the world
that
as a
is really
female.
Nah, I'm kidding. It's just showing that she's.
I saw her in the other picture that is she's in here.
Yeah, she's super dope.
It's
She's
crazy
the
because
first.
that picture is meaningful. It's my mom. What my mom says. It's really how you want to see it.
She's
Because it's
dope.
kind of like
Yeah.
she's like the woman. You know.
So she's a menswear designer, and she's like one of the top in Italy, right? So anybody that know fashion knows the Italians do it right. Like everything in America, we copy off
Sometimes I
European
just want to go
style.
and move over there, man.
Yeah.
They
So
say the
she-
food is better.
Malika.
But why did you start this
Nah.
magazine? Like
Fi Sabe.
I started that magazine for the people that are the creators that don't get no credit.
She's from where's she from?
this one?
That's another reason why we like the lab the lab podcast. We want to have a lot more people that need to be credited
Yeah.
and heard.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I've been published in some big publications, and it was just like, oh, that was cool, but it wasn't just me that took the picture. It was other people that helped me achieve the look. So let's bring all those extra behind the scenes people to the front, and let's tell their stories. Maybe people know them, maybe people don't know them, but everybody likes to tell their story, or some people don't like to tell their story, but I'm gonna tell it for you. So
Subconsciously, a lot of people do like it. Like it's everybody loves talking about themselves.
think
and
about
their
this magazine.
accomplishments and
This
stuff.
is how I know it's important. When I put this magazine out, the most people that buy the magazine are the actual people that are in it,
that are in it, right?
right? That means something to them. That they want to get a couple copies. I want grandmom to have a copy.
Yeah,
I want my
yeah.
mom and my dad to have a copy. It's a sense of accomplishment,
Do you
right?
feel like
Yeah.
it's very self-rewarding when people show you the results like of their emotions after you put so much effort just to get
So
them
this
in their
for me
magazine?
was like something tangible that people can hold on to, right?
Yeah.
If you see, oh, I was featured online, that's cool online, but it's something about something in your hands that you can touch and share.
Yeah,
and
you're
shit.
keeping
Yeah.
you're keeping it very like old school how
Yeah.
it should still be. Like
My
that.
mom still got all my trophies from school and sports and all
Yeah.
of that. This is the new trophy that we try and bring
That's
back.
very good
in the creator world.
to
Yeah.
do that.
See, I'm
What's
not
happening,
feeling that.
Angel?
I'm not feeling it. Like it's not even that. Like I love the magazine. I love when we created it and I saw it here. And I was like, oh, this is dope. Like I get to see
over
it. I love the zine approach. Like when it's tiny like this.
What are you not feeling?
I don't read magazines, dog. Like I literally spend. Let me do the math. I spend for a photography association
But you don't
27
really
per month. I spend $324
Yeah,
a year.
I don't know why you do that, but
Just to
that's-
get, no, I'll tell you the reason. And if anybody's watching me as a photographer, ppa.org. I don't know if I have an affiliate link, but go check them out. Like I'm gonna drop game insurance as a photographer.
What Baron's
you get a
trying
lot
to
of
tell
this
you
stuff.
is like,
but-
let's say one of your daughters gets a trophy, and your grandma's not gonna hold it in a cabinet for her or something.
that's cool, but it's not the same.
This is not.
My mom's gonna
traditional-
hold on
this is
to
not
my-
a traditional magazine. This is something new. This is something bigger than that. You know why? Because you don't really have to read much. That's the
That's
thing.
true.
Okay.
Oh, she's
What
gonna
you
convince
see-
me. Go for
She's
it.
convincing
what you
you.
see,
Oh, convince me,
Okay. What you see,
I see that. Yeah, it looks like
Show the camera.
simple,
Show the camera,
very
not
simple.
Angel.
simple, all
Okay.
that good stuff. Yeah. Look, I like
There you
when I
go.
see it, and I like that I see my articles in there. I love that I
This
see
is
it.
the
But
article. I think that's the biggest one. Okay, you see, maybe another model with another article, but nothing. You see,
Let's
no,
say
that's
tomorrow.
my favorite. That's my
that's
favorite.
very
Angel,
simple.
This is
let's-
their first
You guys
shoot.
need to see this. This is not boring. Like you.
Angel,
enjoy
let's say
looking
tomorrow,
this.
like, the phones are dead.
This is
The
art.
computers are dead, and let's say you have to go to
This is
Japan.
beautiful.
If you see that magazine, you're gonna freaking look at it.
Well, straight
on a
up, I'm
plane.
gonna tell you right now, Japan still believes in magazines. Japan doesn't even believe in like
All right,
credit
so we got
cards when you
hope.
go out. Like you need to pay cash when you go to places. So
All right, then we need to get these magazines to Japan.
right?
You know?
No. There's a big
like
thing
this.
for printed
really do.
material. I'm not gonna completely obliterate printed
all right, so
material, but
some perspective. Think about the generations who aren't on magazines. This is
who's
new
never
to
seen
them.
a magazine?
This is new to them.
Well, 'cause
Yes.
that's the whole thing about nostalgia. Like it's coming back, right? Where people that have seen them, they get nostalgic. Typically, their parents, or like their kids, right, and their parents feel nostalgic about a magazine. So when the kids see it, they're like, "Oh wow, look how crazy! This is amazing! This is awesome!" Right? But that was the whole evolution of the zine. When the zine came to Wynwood or Miami, it was our artists
But let me tell
putting
you,
their pieces inside of a little tiny cute magazine like
look,
this.
we are designed. Human beings are designed
dying.
to read a book, not read a computer or phone.
Hey.
Right? So this is a very good for you to contribute with.
I don't even think he believes in it now anymore. Like he's given up. He's like, forget
Nah,
this
he's
printing.
giving up on the zine.
I'm giving up on,
on printing.
Okay.
material.
Wow.
He's completely
This is
jumped.
the last one.
Oh,
Over it.
you broke my heart.
I'm over it. The reason I'm over it is not because of the mission. Is because if I want it done right, that's another company I have to start.
Yeah.
Because there isn't
Okay.
a proper magazine printer in the U.S.
By the way, guys, Barion is like the type to see a company and he just wants to start a new one because there's just not enough companies that are doing it
and
right.
I don't want to make a print company.
Not yet.
You don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
So at this point,
yeah,
we tried it. We did 5-6 issues, and I'm happy with that.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
But digital is where it's at.
Yeah. Digital.
These same stories are online. So if you can't get the physical copy, one day these will be nostalgic. And if somebody had an
just
original
thought of
Da
an
Vinci
idea.
mag,
To
Yeah.
be like,
shout out to you.
Can you
Yeah.
create a Da Vinci Mag app? Like Vive? Vive has like these
What's Vive?
Vive is like these comic books, like digital comic books app.
you have it through your digital distribution platform
Issue.
does that for this magazine.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna just sum it up. Do you guys want to talk about TikTok getting banned?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. Where do we start? Who wants to start that?
TikTok isn't banned, dog.
Well, it's about to be.
No, it's not. It's a play. It's a play right now. TikTok
right.
being in the limelight and having this conversation, and TikTok's CEO or whatever his name is.
This is all marketing.
Yeah, it's marketing, bro.
Marketing.
No news is,
You
is
think?
no.
All right. Hold up.
bad news is
Hold up.
not good for you.
I'm
whatever,
connecting
however
all
they
the
say.
points right now. So Instagram verification is going viral. TikTok is getting banned. Is going viral. So
And
sounds like a marketing.
Trump getting arrested is
It's
fine.
yeah,
going
yeah,
viral.
yeah. Let's keep
He
that.
does.
Let's
He
keep that.
didn't
out
get
of here.
arrested. He said
didn't,
that he
right?
was going to get arrested.
No,
he still
and,
hasn't been
and
arrested.
then you
all
guys see
marketing.
that AI made a picture of him getting
Media
arrested.
is-
Go to
is
South Florida
incredible.
Digest Instagram and you can see those AI generated
That was
arrests.
just funny.
That,
Oh, you put
that
on-
Instagram has already flagged.
Oh, for them. Yeah. Fun times. But that's the world we live in now, right? But no, man, like TikTok being banned,
Florida
like,
Digest.
look, I'm going to tell you right now,
coming up.
TikTok, what, damn, I can't really get into this. This is really some
That's-
conspiracy
yeah.
stuff. I'll put my tinfoil hat on for a second, all
All
right? If you get into this world with me with the tinfoil hat, just know I'm gonna talk about aliens. I'm gonna talk about all sorts of conspiracies. But
The moon.
right now, I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't know that all the top players, that whether it's Google whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or any of these top players, if you don't know that these top players are submitting information to the CIA or the NSA or anything like that, you're living under a freaking rock. Like, these people literally have contracts with the government to be able to submit things when it comes down to terrorism or anything like that, right? I put money down that TikTok was not being as receptive with that contract, or they were trying to renegotiate that contract. And since they're connected and tied to a Chinese company, then all of a sudden there's different rules, because the Chinese government can ask TikTok for all of its citizens' information, even facial recognition, to determine if it's the real person on the TikTok app, right? What's to say that they can't do that in the US?
Yeah.
They were doing it. It's just they didn't have the agreement.
Guys, Angel has me speechless right now.
Like, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm agree with you.
I always tell people my best advice comes from homeless people.
Oh, go for it.
Every homeless person I've ever met has given me so much great advice. One of the best pieces of advice I got from a homeless person that told me, you want to make some money, sell information. I said, where'd you get that from? He said, well, I used to work at Sprint. And I used to take people's information from Sprint because I knew if I cataloged this for 10 years, I could sell this data and I'd be rich forever. Well, he got arrested, right?
Yeah, because
Lost everything. But if you don't think people selling data, I don't think people ever really read privacy policies and they sign up for apps and just be like, agree.
Yeah.
Agree. They click the little bridge pictures, right?
On to the next.
On to the next, agree.
That's true.
Look, in my previous life, I was a crime investigator, and let's just say informants are everywhere, especially at cell phone companies, especially at banks, especially in governments in the Caribbean. There's information out there that you can get if you know the right people for money or little to nothing.
Especially like immigration and stuff like that.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff out there. So it's not just these big corporations. We're talking about just people, everyday people that have access to systems that they can see your information. Now imagine if the big corporation has access to it, right? Yeah. Look, it's all over. This is not like, I'm just okay with the fact that I already know there's so many microphones around me, regardless if it's this phone or my computer, that they're going to hear me. Or my watch. But read TikTok's information. Read TikTok's licensing agreement. You're going to know. It tells you access to the video, access to the microphone, access to everything that's inside of your device. So whatever, man, you're going to take it or leave it, whatever you're going to do. B has 3 phones. All 3 of his phones are damn surveillance devices.
3, 4, 5, 6.
All of them.
7 cameras right now.
You want to go dark? You want to go dark? First of all, hide your passport inside of a tinfoil bag or something like that. Turn off all your devices. Like, literally, like, just go cash. Go cash. Don't ever go past the teller.
Tell the camera, man. Tell the
Don't look at cameras. You want to go dark? Go move to the mountains. That's how you go dark. But if you want to live a life, everywhere you go, there's going to be something on you. Period.
Yeah, honestly, so, I don't know, man.
Like, if TikTok was to be deleted tomorrow, I'd be fine. Something
else will come up in its place.
I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say Tinder? The funny thing is that a lot of people don't realize that these companies are owned by a main Chinese company.
I think it sucks. It sucks for those who are putting extremely, like, a lot of their time and effort to making videos to go viral. Because a lot of people do go viral, and then all those followers, like, I know a friend of mine has gained 5,000 followers on Instagram from TikTok. So it's like, it sucks for those who are trying to put effort.
There's people making money from TikTok.
This comes back to the era of clout that we live in.
Tee it up.
People are not even making music to make good music anymore. People are making everything to go viral. This is the industry standard now. What can I go viral at so I can leave my job, and that's it. That's what.
Yeah, but then again, sometimes
going viral can be the simplest. It can be somebody who's not even trying to go viral.
But it's not even about virality, right? Clout. Have you heard that word?
Clout.
In Spanish, I'm gonna translate.
Like
so Spanish. Clout es como prestigio.
Okay.
Like you have you go somewhere and you're gonna get recognized. That's clout, right?
Okay.
So everybody right now is trying to get that by creating content on social media that goes viral to get that. But the argument that we're making right now, like the debate that we're having, is that instead of people being passionate and just sharing their passion and being able to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, they're doing it for different reasons.
Why are they doing it though? Because the Kardashians made that famous.
Yeah.
The Kardashians.
They made that famous.
Talk your shit, B.
Oh my God.
Right?
Get on.
The Kardashians
Talk
made
your
that
shit, B.
famous, right? They
Guys,
made it.
in this conversation, we spoke about therapy, AI, business mindset,
And then we on the Kardashians.
Kardashian.
I think we need more whiskey at the lab. I think that's gonna. That's
And we
gonna
only
make
have
happen.
one shot. Imagine.
Yeah, but I think that's it.
We
Like,
spoke about homeless.
I'm gonna talk homeless people every episode.
No, I have a long story about homeless. We could talk about that in another episode. But yeah, the cloud situation is really, it's blending in with this whole AI conversation that's being had, where nothing is original. People are going to be using AI, and we're not going to know who's authentic, who's not authentic. But then you combine that with the whole clout motive, so then people are just doing things and creating scenarios, right? But if you ask ChatGPT to create you a strategy to go viral, it lays you out a plan. And some of the points are spot on when it comes down to PR and marketing. And then some of the points relate to like creating this kind of like persona of yourself. So it's like, you have to choose. You want to go the long road or you want to go a shortcut? You know, I think every industry has that fork in the road, and you're battling with your own beliefs, your own values and beliefs.
So the world will be a bunch of professional wrestlers.
Yo,
You got
B.
That's professional wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
They're a
Yeah,
persona on TV. They're this, and at the end of the day,
person,
go home
they're
to their
something
family, and
Yo.
it's a next show. It's another show in the next city.
It sucks. It's like you're really living that Kardashian life.
It's a double life.
Yo, but we went down
life
the
is a
wrestling.
show.
Life is a show. Yeah, that's for sure.
So,
Life is already tough
you
enough
have
as it is that you have to
to-
make it more complicated as it is. Yo, B, the wrestling thing. This whole thing blew my mind recently. They're talking about how sports are like wrestling.
Because
That they're
sports-
catching people saying, "Oh, I'm supposed to go a touchdown in whatever." And
That's because it's money. So this is, as a child,
there you go.
I'm gonna give y'all some game. I used to always ask my mom why all my white friends always look like they was living better than us. So as a kid, I've always been intrigued with white people and how generationally they've always had wealth, right? I followed the Rockefellers, the Bilderberg groups. I watch all of it as a kid, bro. This is like I'm 10 years old trying to figure out this, how wealth is distributed in America. And we've been playing catch up for like forever. We just never had the information. So I always was looking for the information. And for me, I always followed the money. Everything I do is like reverse engineering what white people been doing for years. So it's like now that I have some information, I need to tell everybody. Like I gotta give it to everybody, right?
Yeah, the American dream secrets.
All of that.
Yeah.
The banks, the school systems, it's all rigged.
look, I know that.
But now because you said that about sports, well, sports betting is a real thing. It used to be back in the day you had to get with a bookie, right, to do your bets and all of that. Well, now this is a new business where you can just from your phone and bet online.
You just contact a friend that you know that's really good at it, knows about sports, and you're like, yo, how much I bet on it? All right, cool.
It's the inside man.
Yeah.
It's always a middleman.
Bro, you brought up the Rockefellers. This information is actually now, I feel like the information freedom, like
Rockefeller.
it went to a certain point where there's Information Freedom Act, where the government said, okay, we're going to give information out that we've been hiding and shit.
Yeah.
And then now there's like businesses and people that are successful are releasing information of what it took for them to get there. And I feel like my phone or my feed, I'm tapped into this whole trust and creating generational wealth and what different things do. And one thing that I saw is that the Rockefeller family has literally the best structure for generational wealth known in history. Like there are individuals of that family that are still alive today that are running on $670 billion that have been brought from 10 generations back.
Yeah.
just because they took it upon themselves to say, hey, we're all getting together.
This is the structure.
We're all building a life insurance. Every single one of you get life insurance. Every single one of yours credit. Y'all better be on point.
But then think about the minorities who didn't have access to the information, right? So you look at the Rockefellers, you look at the Hiltons, the Waltons that
Trumps.
own Walmart, right? The Trumps.
Yeah.
It's the same families. Like, it's no reason.
They've been telling each other because they went to the same schools.
Have you guys seen
Yeah.
the 4 Great Men Who Built America? It's a really good.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Netflix?
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Netflix. No, YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hit that up.
Check that out.
No, but like, dude, like,
I studied all this stuff. Like, I didn't know what the Bilderberg Group was, and the Bilderberg Group was all of these families come together yearly to have a meeting,
And
because they
what's crazy?
all own the media.
And they all own the media through stocks.
They all
They
own
have
the
the
media.
stocks of when Google started their stocks.
So regardless,
When
the president
stocks,
said,
it's insane.
or whoever is running the country, this group
Own the media, so they
own the media.
yeah. So they are in
But
charge.
it's to the point now that I think they know,
¿Cómo?
the bingo.
like, the
my God.
information's out there right now. But it's like, now that you have the information, what are you gonna do with it? Nothing. And they
You know how
don't
many
care.
people scroll past that? My mom's an accountant, bro. I put her on game. I said, "Yo, mom, you never told me about this. I'm an first immigrant son that is woke, tapped in. Like, I'm trying to figure this out." And I'm like, "Mom, like, you're an accountant. You've been an accountant for over 25 years. Shout out. She has a podcast as well, Accountants in Distress. So if you want to check that out,
that name.
right?
Love that
It's an amazing
Let's go
name.
now.
We're
That
good
name
with
is
branding,
amazing.
right?
I
We're
love
pretty good with
that
branding.
Yes.
But going back to my story, I go
I'm a
in-
name guy, so when
You
I hear
love
a
that.
good
You
name,
love
I'm
that.
like, so that's why when you said they named him Goey, I was like,
Like, what is that? That's not the right name, right?
Goey out of here.
But no, going back, I go and present this information to her, and immediately she's an accountant. She knows this. Like, she deals with so many $1 million accounts of people, doctors, and all sorts of stuff. And I show her the trust and how to set up a trust and life insurance, making yourself your own bank and all that good stuff. And she's like, no, but like, is that real? Like, can you trust that? I'm like, Mom, if you don't believe it, I'm going to be the first in our family to be a millionaire. I don't care.
Let's make
But I'm going to be the first one to set
Let's
this
do
up.
it.
Because, like, yo, if you didn't set this up for myself, you didn't educate me on this, I'm going to educate everybody. I'm going to put everybody on.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
How can you not?
Like, it's crazy out there. The information's out there, y'all.
Now.
Just-
So yeah,
just look it
speaking
up.
about moms, guys, we're extremely.
Oh, you want to land the plane? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about an hour and a half in.
Yeah,
Because we had
guys.
Mom on the show. I think it took us to another level.
It was
so.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hour and a
guys.
half
So my beautiful mom here.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to really have you on the lab.
in. She's probably want to come back now.
We want to know, like, what's your feedback,
She's like, I love this shit.
Well,
or what? How's your
She's like, this
experience?
is better than my podcast.
How does it feel to be here without us telling
this
you?
is my first time doing a podcast.
Like this.
Like this.
Like, not like interview style.
Yes.
With
like
some of this
thinking-
out.
No, actually, like thinking I'm gonna do a podcast. Now I didn't think about it.
Like,
I come here and he told me we're gonna do a podcast. You come on, let's do it. You want to come in? And I said, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
it
He
was
said, yo se me lanzo.
right.
Like,
Oh, that's the name of her show too. If you
That's
guys want to
the
check that
show.
out, pitch your show. What's the name of your show?
yeah, I have a show that they me han empujado
You can do
You
Spanglish,
can
no
do
problem.
Spanglish,
Okay.
Yeah.
a hacerlo, and the name is Yo si me lanzo. Yo si me lanzo in English is
Rough translation.
yeah.
I'll go for it.
I'll go
Like,
for
like
it.
you know,
I'll go
always.
for it. I'll take the risk.
I'll take the risk.
I
like-
think I take the risk.
Yeah, I'll take the
Well,
risk.
I'll
like,
go for it.
I'll go for it. Like, I'll jump for it. I'll jump to do it. Yeah, something like
it's
that.
Something like that. Well, that's the name of my show, which I only have one
episode. It's all
Think
good.
of you and my daughter, and I'm really happy. I have the experience today. I learned from you a lot because you made me realize that this is not something too much complicated.
Yeah.
Who do you want on your show? Pitch it because they might watch this and come on your show.
Who I want in my show? Everyone.
Anyone and everyone?
Anyone and everyone.
Women, men.
So you're kind of
you
like
can
the
bring your
collab.
dog. You can bring your love dog and pets.
Oh,
Any
that's
pets?
a new thing, guys.
Any pets?
All right.
Yeah,
Any
why
pet
not?
sponsors? Come on.
Pet sponsors. That'd be
Why
fine.
not?
Yeah. I think to summarize her show and a lot of our shows is we talk about passionate people We talk about what
Business.
they're doing, business, right? But we really want to get the information out there. So perspective is big. So we get perspective in each one of our shows, whether it's Everyday Game Cheers, whether it's the Lab, whether it's Yossi Melanso, or any of the shows that come through the studio. We try to teach the people that are here, like, add value. And you add
Yes.
value by gaining perspective. So
Yes.
I think that's a good summary for you.
And yeah, guys,
That's what it
regardless
is.
if we're not adding enough value, please comment below any feedback you guys think is best for us to, keep on doing this. We also feel like it's, regardless of where it goes, we're enjoying this because we're extremely passionate about talking about knowledge and important things.
Shout out to Dorenia for hosting her first podcast and engineering it at the same time.
Congrats.
I'm assuming I don't want to like put like any bad juju on the edit, but I feel like I'm gonna have to probably fix some of those cuts.
100%. But you don't talk about that right now. We're finishing up.
So take us on our last thoughts, right? What are our last thoughts for the show as we wrap it? What are we gonna leave the message with?
Well, we do always finish with 2 words now. All
Right?
of a
What
sudden,
about
who
this
wants to
one?
pick those 2 words?
I think last time you were.
I picked it probably last time.
Last time you made her do it,
But then I
and then she just said a word or something.
yeah.
So
I did it though. It was just start, right?
that was your last one.
Yeah.
Right. So what about this week? It's okay.
So you give us
That's you.
the 2 words.
This week, 2 words.
Yeah. Mine's is usually just start because most people never start.
Just start.
Yeah.
2 words. Trust yourself.
Okay. I
That's
can
a
rock
good
with
one.
that.
Yeah, trust yourself. I think that's what I'm gonna leave it with. A lot of people set promises for themselves, but they never do it, and then that makes them not trust themselves. And I think that spirals down a whole long journey of not doing things.
Sound like just start in a different way, right?
Yeah, but it is because it has to go with trust. Once you start,
Yeah.
you start building more trust for yourself. So I want to kind of
I would say
add a layer
be
to that.
yourself.
Be yourself. Be authentic. Be your
Be
authentic self.
Be yourself.
It's okay to be yourself.
All right, guys. So trust yourself. Be yourself.
And think
Go for it.
And
do
dream
for it.
Think big. Think big. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dream,
Big.
dream.
I like
Dream
it.
big. Yeah, I like
Dream.
that.
Dream big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take us out.
10 million on the
guys.
line.
And that was
Yeah.
10
the
million.
lab.